Hi, my name is Heather Ryan and I'm a second year at the University of Florida studying leadership and communication development. For the large majority of my time as a student at UF, I spent that time really wondering if I was in the right place at the right time with the right people. And I guess you could say I had FOMO, the fear of missing out. And so with that FOMO, I spent a lot of time as a business major trying to convince myself that this was the right path that I needed to be on so that I could have a guaranteed job at the end of graduation. But after a week of financial accounting classes that I wasn't passionate about, I found myself sitting across the room from Dr. Stedman, who is the undergraduate leadership development coordinator. And she told me that she recognized potential in me to make that change for myself, even though I couldn't seem to find the willingness inside me to make it happen. But in that moment of taking a risk and changing my major, I felt more purpose than I've ever felt in my entire life. And I realized that that type of investment in youth is something special. And as we approach the year 2050, with unprecedented poverty and population growth of 9.6 billion people, we need to identify a group of young students that we're going to invest in. Because if we want to see the leaders of the world that are going to be making critical decisions, peace negotiations, and all the other effectiveness that's going to happen at that point in time, it's going to be the youth that are right here in front of us. And so since that moment of inspiration and change, that's where I became empowered to make that change also happen in my community. I started volunteering at a community center right down the road from UF, and one day I was sitting with a young boy named Little Rod working on our homework together. And he started telling me how he wanted to be the president of the United States one day, but didn't think he could do it because you have to be a leader to do that. And in that moment, I realized our millennial population has the understanding that we have to wait until we have the right job or a big enough house or a nice car to start becoming a leader. But I didn't really like that all that much. And so I started to work with a faculty mentor on campus with a research program to start identifying parts of the leadership development curriculum that could apply to youth, so to make sure that they would be prepared and make those decisions at the critical points when it's needed most in our countries and in the world. And so to make that happen on an international level, I traveled with Projects for Haiti during our spring break to Cap Haitian, Haiti for a sustainable development trip. We took 50 UF students into Cap Haitian for a week, and during that time we did youth leadership training according to the curriculum that we had written. And we broke it down into 3 days. The first day was all focused on personal leadership. So we did a strengths assessment, personality test, and other individual focus that allowed each student that participated to really identify their own strengths. From there, we took it a step further and really focused on interpersonal leadership. So we did team building activities, communication practices, and allowed each person to work with other people who have different strengths with them. And so at that point in time, that allowed them to work collectively as a group for our third day. And on that last day, it was a community assessment day. And so we focused on asset-based community development. And what that means is instead of focusing on the problems of Haiti or the trash or the corruption, we had each student write down the aspects of their country that they really loved. So the national unity, the songs, the connectedness they felt to each other. And that was something that was so innovative and organic that each of them could write out those presentations and present it to our board and our board of students so that there could be an exchange. And so it was a little bit of like a competition where every student who identified a problem, some of the problems ranged from the fact that 80% of Haitian teachers weren't certified to teach. And so the students wrote up a program to solve that problem, and we sponsored funding to make that happen. And so all of this project relates back to my proposal because I'm really passionate about focusing on measuring the social and economic impact of short-term mission trips. I've gotten a lot of controversy and questions about if those mission trips are actually effective. And I'm fascinated by the fact that this type of trip has changed my life. And I believe that the most sustainable part of this trip is the leadership training that we've given to youth. And I want to see that happen on an international level. I want to take teams of students to different educational institutions around the world and share the skills and knowledge that we've been given as college students with students who need it most, but just need someone to call out that potential in them. And I think we can do it. Thank you so much for your time and attention to listening to this proposal. and I'm so excited and hopeful to share it with everyone at the Global Engagement Summit in Chicago.